Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vicky and today you're joining me to make this rather exquisite bracelet which I'm a little bit in love with. It's really sparkly in colours I would never usually pick for the bracelet, but when I first made the earrings using these colours, and these colours were from the I can only show you the lid because I've used most of the beads from it, but they were from the Beading School Academy box, Bird of Paradise. As you can see, they're the kind of colours that are on the front of the box, and this was possibly my last project I will make from the box because I've made 4 pieces now and I've used quite a lot of my beads. So yeah, these are my last thing to make, and I've really enjoyed this box. It's been really nice to work from, and these are not normally colours I'd probably pick, so it was good to work out of my comfort zone, I guess. But I'm really loving this mustard coloured Tila bead. And I'll leave all the links below for like the Beading School Academy, where you'll find all these beads in. It's a bi-monthly box, so it's every 2 months it comes out, and the theme changes every 2 months. So this if you're watching this this video way in the future, it won't be the same theme, but check it out because it's really cool, and there's lots going on there. They have a really good group that is worth having a little peep at. So yes, so I made this colour first and I really loved it, but I thought it had quite a Moroccan feel to it. It kind of looks like a tile, and I just thought, oh, that's really nice, but I'd like a bracelet in it now. I thought it would lend itself well to a bracelet, so I pop them earrings down and then I will show you the bracelet. So with the thought of the Moroccan theme in my head, I went with colours that reminded me of maybe like the kind of architecture you see, the colours of the buildings, and like that you see in Morocco and whatnot. And this is what I came up with, and I'm overjoyed with it, to be honest. It's not my usual go-to colours, as I said, but I love it, and I can't wait to wear it. So it's really pretty and it's so sparkly. It's ideal for, you could wear it for the up and coming festive season, I guess, since we're filming this in October. Or if it's summertime you're watching this would be really gorgeous with like, you know, just to wear around the pool or whatnot. Whatever you're doing, this bracelet is it's there for you. so yeah, that's what we're making today. So let's take a little look at what we need. Okay, so on my mat today I have a size 15 seed bead, a size 11 Delica bead, a 2mm pearl, a 3mm bicone, a Tila bead, an 8mm SS39 Chaton, a clasp, and 2 jump rings, and that's what we're going to use for the bracelet. Now these aren't to scale, these aren't the right amounts. I will pop all the right amounts that you will need in the drop box, in the description box down below. If you're looking to make the earrings, then you will need some ear wires and some drop beads. I've got these Preciosa pearl drops here, so you will need them. But today we're going to be making the bracelet, and at the end I will show you how to do the earring, like how to add the drop. But because this is a component piece, you can make as many or as little as you want, really. So yes, that's everything we need to make the piece. I have a size 12 needle and I'm using 6 pound Fireline. So that being everything, let's get started. Okay, so I have a wingspan of thread to make my component. I have made most of the bracelets, so we're going to make the little bit together. I have a component already made up here and I have several already connected, so we're going to make the last component essentially, so I can then show you how to join it all together and add your clasp. Bear in mind you might not need as many components as I have, or you might need more, and that's fine. Even if you only need just a little bit bigger, you can always add like an extension chain or extra jump rings on your loops. There's lots of ways of making it bigger or smaller. So right, let's get started then. So on my wingspan of thread, I'm going to pick up 4 size 11 Delicas, and I'm just going to drop them all the way down my thread and go through them all again from the tail end upwards, like so. I'm going to pull through, and then I'm going to go through 2 again, just to make them into a little neat loop, like so, and pull through, and then just give them a little wiggle so that they go into a little neat unit of 4. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to go through one more again, actually, just so that my tail thread is pretty much facing my working thread, and that's just for my own personal preference, but you don't have to do that. Okay, so I'm going to be working in right angle weave, and this is my first unit, and I'm going to make a strip of right angle weave before we join it together to make the base of our bezel. So coming out of the top of this Delica bead, I'm going to pick up 3 size 11 Delicas, like so, and I'm just going to go, if I'm coming out the top of it, I'm just going to go straight up from the bottom upwards, like so, and pull through. And this will give me my second unit of right angle weave. So if you think that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 beads there, which makes the first unit, and then this side bead is our connecting bead to give us our next unit, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we have 2 units. I'm now going to weave through the first 2 beads of the set of 3 I've just picked up to be coming out of the next side unit of the second, this next side bead of the second unit. I'm now going to pick up 3 size 11 Delica beads. I'm coming at the bottom of this one, so I'm going to come down the bead from the other side this time and pull through. And now I have my third unit. So they will sit better as we go, by the way. They look a little bit hillity-pillity at the moment, but they will look better. So this is my third unit, and as you can see, this connector bead is my first bead, and then I have 1, 2, 3 more to make a set of 4. Again, go through the next 2 new beads, so we're coming out of the next side bead, like so. And now we're going to continue that until we've got 11 raw units, so 11 right angle weave units in place, and we will join with our 12th. So do basically repeat what we've just done from the second and the third unit until you've got a set of 11. Okay, so I now have 11 units of right angle weave in place, and now I'm going to join them together into a ring to add our 12th unit on. So I do like to wrap them around my thumb usually. I take my tail thread and my working thread just so I can see what I'm doing, and also to make sure that the ring doesn't twist, so you don't end up with your beads kind of like just twisted really. So I like to hold them like this just for my own stability. I'm coming out to the top of this bead. Now this is our side bead of our 12th unit, as is the first one here. They're going to be our side beads. So for the 12th unit, we're only going to add 2 beads rather than picking up 3. So coming out to the top of this side bead on the last unit, I'm going to pick up 1 size 11 Delica, and I'm going to go down to the same side I'm coming out, down into the side bead on the first unit that's not used, like so. And I'm going to pull through, and then I'm going to pick up 1 size 11 Delica, and I'm going to go back up the side bead I started from, like so. So I should have two beads simply just not that close yet, because I can't, my thumb's too big basically to get this into a nice ring while it's sat around it. But you can see that these beads make up the top and the bottom bead of our unit. So side, side, top, bottom. And I'm just going to go through them again to reinforce the join. So go through the new one into the side one on the first unit, through the second one we've just added, and back into the side bead we've just come out of. And I'm just going to pull that nice and tight so that that unit joins together. Just move my little bottom bead there. And now we should have this ring. So this ring of Delica beads in raw units. And I'm coming out of that side one here. Coming out of the top of that side one. So I'm just going to go straight into what essentially is the top bead of the next raw unit along. So if you think that that's there, my sides, and then I've got my bottom and my top, I'm just going to go straight along into that next top bead, like so, and pull through. So that's where I'm coming out of now. I'm now going to work in peyote. So I'm going to pick up one size 15 seed bead, and I'm going to go straight into the next top bead along on my next raw unit. So straight into that next top bead along. So I'm essentially missing the side bead. I'm not going into the side bead at all. Just straight into the next top one along and pull through. And as you can see, this new 15 sits above the side bead but between the two top beads. I'm going to repeat that again. I'm going to pick up 115 and I'm going to go straight into the next top bead along of the next raw unit, and I'm going to pull through. And again, that one sits over the side bead and between the two top Delicas of the raw units. And I'm just going to repeat that all the way around, adding in size 15 seed beads. And I'm just about to add in my last size 15 seed bead. I'm coming out of this last top bead on the last raw unit, and I'm going to go straight back into the first one I started from, like so. And I'm just going to pull that through. And that's how your work should look now. You should have a 15 between each top bead of each raw unit. I'm now going to step up into the first 15 I added and pull through. Okay, so now we're going to add another round of 15s in the same way, and we're going to put the beads between our 15s. So I'm going to pick up one size 15, coming out of this one, I'm going to go straight into the next 15 along and pull through. And that's how your work should look now. And then I'm going to pick up 115 and go straight into the next 15 along, like so, and pull through. Give it a little tug if you need to tighten it all up. And that's how it should look now. And I'm just going to repeat that all the way around, adding in 15s between 15s. And I'm just about to add in my last 15, going into the first 15 I started from. Just dropping my needle a little bit. Here we go, like so. And pull through. Just give it a little tug to make sure it's all nice and tight. And that's how your bezel should look now. You may want to just, if any of them are not sitting as neat as you'd like, just give them a little wiggle, make them all sit in nice. But once the chaton goes in, they'll be fine. Okay, so we now want to weave to the other side of our bezel to do exactly the same thing as we've just done, adding the 2 rows of 15s. So coming out to that 15, I'm going to go into the top Delica that we used. You have to follow the thread path down the side Delica and into this bottom Delica here, which I'm magically going to now call our top Delica because that's just how I prefer it, because it's easier just to think of it that way to myself. So again, I'm now coming out of the top of this side of the ring, coming out this now top Delica. And we're just going to repeat adding the 15s. So if you just pick up 115, and as we did before, just go straight into the next top Delica along. See what I mean? It just doesn't sound right saying go into the next bottom Delica along, because you're looking at it as it's on the top. Do you get what I mean? Okay, so going straight into that next top one along. So it's now looking like that. And then we're going to pick up another 15 and go straight into, move that tail out the way, the next top Delica along. And now you should have 2. And they should be pretty much lined up with the 15s from earlier, that first row of 15s we added. They will line up with them. So continue adding 15s all the way around. And I'm just about to add in my last size 15, and I'm just going to go straight into that Delica that I started from, and I'm going to step right up into that first 15. So through the Delica we started the round from and straight into that first 15, like so. And that's how your work should look now. You should have this little cup shape with your 15s on either side, that first row. Before we do our second row, I'm just going to pop in my Chaton and then just give it a little pull, like so. And now we're going to add the second row of 15s, the same way we did on the back. So just picking up one 15, coming out of this 15, and I'm just going to go straight into the next one along. Just going to hold on to my Chaton for a minute so it doesn't fall out. And pull through and pull tight. And that's how your work should look now. And we're just going to do that again. Pick up one 15 and just go straight into the next 15 along. And pull through and pull tight. And again, that's how your work should look now. And we're just going to complete that all the way around to add that second row of size 15s in. And I'm just about to add in my last 15. I'm coming out to this last one, and I'm just going to take my needle straight into the first 15 we started from, like so, and pull through and pull tight, and just give it a little wiggle if it needs to just be placed nicely in there. There we go. Okay, so your work should now be this little bezel. Don't worry if it's not sitting completely as neat as you'd like. I do know that the bezel's a little tiny bit big for the stone, but as we add more and more rounds on, it does become tighter and tighter. So don't worry about that right now. If you're going, oh, it's a little bit baggy, don't worry. So, but that's how it looks. Okay, you can see I've already woven off my thread because it was annoying me. So I've taken that in now just so I could finish my bezeling piece. And so if you want to do the same, you can. If you want to carry on, that's also cool. Okay, so I'm now coming out to this 15. I'm going to take my needle straight into, that's still in the first row of the 15s, straight into that top Delica, the ones we used to add our first row of 15s. Just going straight into there and pull through. And I'm now going to pick up one 15. And I'm going to go, basically I'm going to repeat the first round of 15s using this top Delica again. So coming out of this top Delica, I'm just going straight into the next one, as we did before, like so, and pull through. And this new 15 will now sit behind that first 15 we added between our Delicas. I'm just going to do that again, pick up one 15 and just go straight into that next top Delica along and pull through. And you should now have these two 15s that are just basically side by side with the 15 that we used to basically make the top of our bezel. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around, adding in 15s. And I'm just about to add in my last 15, so I'm coming out of this last Delica and I'm just going to go straight into that first one that we started from. And I'm going to pull through. And that's how your work should look now. You should have a 15 sat side by side with that top row of 15s on the bezel. Stay coming out of this first Delica because we're going to use it again. So coming out of that first Delica that we've just, that top Delica, I'm going to pick up 3 Delicas. Coming out that side, I'm just going to go straight back through the Delica again and pull through. And just manoeuvre them into place so they make essentially a right angle weave unit. And that's how it should look. Now, I talked about making the bezel tighter, so that's really what we're doing now, because I could have actually put these on the previous round, but I found that this was the better way to do it as I was making the piece. It's all about trial and error sometimes, and this for me really worked on the front of the piece. So I'm now going to go through the next 15 Delica, 15 Delica, 15 Delica. So I want to be coming out of the third one away from the one I've just used. So just come with me. So 15 and into the Delica, and then into the 15, into the Delica, and into the next 15, and then into the Delica. So you can see I'm coming out to that third Delica away from the unit I've just built. And then I'm going to repeat adding in this unit. So pick up 3 Delicas and just go straight back through the Delica you're coming out of. So if you're coming out that side, straight back through it to create that right angle weave unit again. There we go. Just maneuver them into place. And that's that. And then I'm going to repeat that twice more because I want a total of 4 new right angle weaves. So again, I'm going to go through the 15 Delica, 15 Delica, 15 Delica until I'm coming out to the third Delica away from this one. So might as well all do it together because it makes sense, doesn't it, to do it together, just so it's easier to see. So coming out of that Delica, that's the third one away, as you can see. And I'm going to pick up my 3 Delicas, and I'm going to go straight through the Delica I'm coming out of, on the opposite side, pull through, maneuver it into place for that third unit, and then you guessed it, we're going to go through the next 2, 4, 6 beads, 6 beads, yeah, 6 beads, 6, yeah, 6 beads, 15s and Delicas, until we get to that third Delica away from the one we've just used, and add in our last little unit. So picking up 3 Delicas and just go straight through the Delica you're coming out of, like so. And maneuver it into place, make sure it's sat nicely, it's not knocking the 15s out. So there we go, and that's how your work should look now. You should have these new 4 right angle weave units. We're now going to come through the first 2 beads of the 3 that we've just added on this unit. So come up the next one and into the top one, like so, through them 2. And pull tight. So you're coming out of the top of this one now, like so. So coming out to the top of this unit now, we're now going to pick up a 3mm bicone, a size 15 seed bead, a Tila bead, a size 15 seed bead, and a 3mm bicone. So that's a 3mm bicone, a 15, a Tila, a 15, and a bicone. And I'm going to take my needle through the next top Delica along on the next unit. So through that next unit that we've just made in that previous round, go through the top Delica and pull through, like so. And we're going to repeat that again. Bicone, 15, Tila, 15, oh, picked up 2, and bicone, like so. And again, we're going to go through the top bead of the next unit along, of them 4 units, and then we're going to repeat that twice more. I'm just adding in my last set and going back into that first Delica I started from, of that first unit, and pull through. And that's how your work should look now. I'm now going to go through the bicone 15 Tila 15 bicone until I'm coming out to the second bicone I've just added. So through the bicone, through the 15, the Tila, the 15, pull through, and the bicone. So I'm coming out of this one, so the bicone after the Tila essentially. I'm now going to pick up a 2mm pearl, and I'm going to go through the bicone, the 15, the Tila, the 15 and the next bicone. So through the next 5 beads we've just added, jumping the Delica. We're not going to go through the Delica, we're just going to go through the beads we've just added in the previous round. So bicone 15, Tila 15, through, and then into the bicone, like so. And then we're going to repeat that 3 more times, adding in a 2mm pearl between our, essentially our 2 bicones, and jumping that Delica bead. So repeat that all the way around, adding in your 2mm pearls. You should have a total of 4. And I'm just adding in my last pearl and going through my next 5 beads until I'm coming out of the bicone I started from. Okay, so I'm coming out of that bicone that I started from now. And now we're actually going to go back to our bezel. So we're going to drop back down into the Delica bead. So come a bit closer to show you this. Back into that top Delica bead, like so. And pull through, get caught on your Tilas. And go through the side bead of that unit, like so. And then back into that top Delica on this on your bezel here that we've used multiple times. Back into that one. And then if you take your needle just through, just so it's coming out the back of your bead, so you want your thread to kind of slide down between that 15 and that Delica. We're now going, because we're coming out of that top one here of that, because there's the unit, and we're coming out of that top one, we're going to come down the unit here to come out of the bottom Delica here. We want to be coming out of that, has got a row of 15s attached to. So come down the side of the units that are on the bezel, so, and pull through, and then into this bottom Delica here, and pull through. Okay, so when we did the 15s and the 4 raw units on the top, we did the 15s first and then we did the Delicas, but we're not going to do that on the back because it just works a bit different on the back. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to pick up 1 Delica, like so, and we're going to go into the top Delica of this raw unit. So this raw unit's still here. We're just going to go into that top Delica, so up the same side, and into that top Delica there of that raw unit that we've just attached our bicone, 15, Tila, etc. to, and pull through. And then we're going to pick up 1 Delica and go back into that Delica on the bottom row that we've just started from, like so, and pull through. So now we essentially have a raw unit here, but it's joined to the raw unit on the top by the top bead. We're now going to pick up 1 15 and go through the next bottom Delica, the next Delica on the bottom row. So do that and go through, and again that should be sat next to that 15 on that first row of the back of our bezel. And we're going to do that another 2 times, add 2 more 15s in. So pick up 1 and go through the next one, the next Delica along, and then again pick up 1 15 and go into that next bottom Delica along, and this one will now be in line with the raw unit we made earlier when we made our 4. and pull through. And again, you can see that our 15s are actually also in line with the ones we put on the top of our bezel. And we're now going to repeat making this raw unit again. So pick up one, oops, two stuck together, one Delica. Just give that a little flip so you can see it, and then go into the top Delica of that raw unit that's already in place, that we've added our 5 beads to here, and pull through. Don't get attached. And then pick up one Delica and go back into that bottom Delica you're coming out of there, and pull through and pull tight. And again, this is our second raw unit, so we have one there, 3 15s in between, and our next raw unit. We'll now add our 3 15s again before adding our next raw unit there, and then 3 15s again, a raw unit there, and then 3 15s again. So if you want to carry on adding your 15s and then the last 2 raw units, carry on doing that now. And I'm just about to add in my last 15, and that's going straight into that Delica we started from when we added our first raw unit here. And pull through. And as you can see, that is now exactly the same as what's on the top. So we have our 4 raw units and our 15s, and then on the back we have our 4 raw units, which are connected to the raw units on the top, and our 15s. And now I want to weave through to come out of the middle 15 of the sets of 3 that we've just added. I want to come out of that middle one, so go through your next 15 Delica and then into that middle 15. So we're still working on the back, like so, into that one, and pull through. We're now going to pick up 2 15s, a Delica, and 2 15s. And you can see that I'm in line with the middle of my Tila bead. So I'm now going to take my needle, from coming out of this side of the 15, I'm going to take my needle through this side of the Tila in the unused hole. So the outside hole of that Tila, like so, and pull through. And your beads kind of come around in this arc shape. And then I'm going to pick up 2 15s, a Delica, and 2 15s. And I'm just going to go back into that 15 that I've just started from, like so, and pull through. So this is helping stabilize our piece, and it's integral part of the design really, I guess, because it's stabilize it, and it adds some beads that we're going to use later on. So now we've done that bit there, so now we're going to weave round to come out of the middle 15 in front of the next Tila. So weave through your Delicas and your 15s, and again that is helping to really tighten up that bezel. Okay, so there we go, I'm coming out of that middle 15 again, that's just in front of the Tila, and I'm going to pick up 2 15s, a Delica, and 2 15s. And then I'm going to coming out to this side, so I'm going to take my needle through my Tila that way. So if you're coming out that side, it's going to go into the Tila that side, and pull through. And then I'm going to repeat that, pick up 2 15s, a Delica, and 2 15s, and go back into the 15 that I've just come out of, and pull tight. And I'm going to weave round again to the next one and repeat there before weaving round to the last one and repeating there. So if you want to do that now, just weave through your beads till you come to the middle 15s, and add in your sets of 2 15s, Delica, 2 15s. And I'm just adding in my last 2 15s, Delica, 2 15s, and going back into my my single 15 on my bezel, and pull through. So that's how your work should look now. All your Tilas should kind of be leaning in, essentially. So we need to get back to the front now. So we're just going to go up the first 215s Delica and the 215s. So now we're coming out of the second 15 of that set of 2 on this side of the Delica, but now at the front. So they kind of make up the side beads. If you think of it, they match these two here. So we have these 215s here, and then we have the 5th bead essentially from our little arcs, which are the 15s matching them. We're now going to pick up 2 15s, a bicone, and 2 15s. I'm going to go into that next 15 along. So if you turn to the back, you can see that that is my second 15 of that first arc here. Did I say my first 15? Yeah, my first 15 of that arc there. And pull through. And we're not going to go down them beads. We're just going to leave it at that. So now you've got these 2 15s, this bicone and 2 15s sat on top of your Tila, and you should be coming out of that 15 that was coming out of the Tila, out of that top hole of the Tila. We're now going to pick up 1 15, 1 Delica, 1 15, 1 15, 1 Delica, 1 15. I'm going to go through the 2mm pearl. That 2mm pearl from earlier, I'm just going to straight through that 2mm pearl, like so, and pull through. Make sure everything is pulling nice and tightly. If you have to, things stuck to me. If you have to go back and just make sure that it's all nice and tight, you can do that. Though it probably will be. It's just that when you're making things on camera, sometimes things come a bit loose because you don't kind of like have as much tension as you would if you were just sitting there beading. So if it looks a little bit loose on mine, don't worry, yours probably doesn't. So anyway, I've fixed that now. So pick up, and we've just added our 15 Delica, 15, and gone into our 2mm pearl. We're now going to pick up a 15, a Delica, a 15, and we're going to go straight into the first bead here. So again, this is the bead off the arcs that are connected to the back. So the first one that's going into the Tila, straight into that one, like so, and pull through. And we're going to pick up 2 15s, a bicone, and 2 15s. And we're going to go straight across the Tila and into that 15 the other side. Like so. And then we're going to pick up our 15, Delica, 15, and go into our pearl, to the 2mm pearl, and pull through. And lastly, we'll put our 15, Delica, 15, and go into that first 15 on that side of the next Tila. Like so. That's how your work should be looking so far. We're now going to repeat doing them 2 steps all the way around. So 15s, bicone 15s, and then our 15 Delica, 15 between our pearls. So you should have 2 more of each round to do, or each set essentially. So complete that all the way around. And I'm just adding in my last 15 Delica, 15, and going into that first 15. So make sure it's the one that's connected to the Tila and not the first one of the 2 that are going into the bicone. So into that one there, and pull through. And that's how your work should look now. And even that's just really pretty on its own. Even if we didn't carry on with the next steps, that's really quite sweet, and it would make a nice little component. But we are going to carry on with the next steps, and we're just going to go through the next 2 15s and the bicone and pull through. So we're coming out of the bicone now. We're going to pick up 2 15s and go into the 15, this one that was when we did our 15 bicone pearl, 15. It wasn't, was it? It was the bicone 15, Tila 15 bicone. So we're going to go through the 15 and the bicone that would have been after the Tila. So them 2 there. I have to think then, sometimes you have to think. So into that 15 and that bicone there, with my new 215s and pull through. And that will just bring, well, it will start to bring, because we will add another 2 here in a minute, it will start to bring your bicone down more towards the centre of the Tila rather on the edge. Coming out of this bicone, we're now going to pick up 3 15s. We're going to jump the Delica and essentially the Pearl and go through the next bicone and into the next 15 and pull through, and that will give us this little picot of beads here. You can see the like little triangle of beads between our 2 bicones now. And we're going to pick up 2 15s and we're going to go into our bicone over our Tila and pull through. So though we started on that side here, obviously I've added the first 2 on this side, which we will end on over here. So again, pick up 2 15s because we're starting this round again, this part of the step. 2 15s, go through the 15 and the bicone that are on the bottom of this Tila here and pull through. Be aware that bicones can be sharp and can cut your thread, so just be very gentle when you're going through them and pulling against them. Pick up 3 15s, jump the Delica and the Pearl and go through the bicone and the 15 before the next Tila and pull through. And that will give us our little picot between our bicones. And then we're just going to repeat that all the way around, adding in the 2 15s either side of this bicone and the 3 15s between them bicones. So repeat all the way around. And I've just added in my last picot, and now I'm just going to add in my last 2 15s on this side of that first bicone we started from. So just straight into them first 2 15s. That first bicone. And pull through. And that's how your work should look now. Should be really heavily embellished now. Okay, so coming out this bicone, we're going to go through these next 4 beads. So the 2 15s and then these 2 15s here. So you can see them there and into that Delica. So the 2 15s coming off the bicone, and then the 15 that was attached off our back arcs, and the first 15 and Delica of the Delica 15 that we took into our single pearl earlier. So through them 4 and into that Delica. Okay, so we should be coming out of that Delica. We're now going to pick up a 2mm pearl, and we're going to take our needle through the middle 15 of that first picot to the middle one of the first picot and pull through. And that should be sat like that now. So you put between the Delica and this middle 15, and then you're going to pick up another 2mm pearl, and we're going to go into that next Delica along and the 2 15s afterwards, like so, and pull through. And then you've got a choice of which way you can go. You can go across through the 15th, the bicone and the 15s, or through the Tila and the 2 15s and into the Delica. I personally go through the Tila, the 2 15s and into the Delica. Like so. And then we're going to repeat that again with the pearls. Pick up 1 2mm pearl and go into the middle 15 of the picot and pull through, and pick up 1 2mm pearl and go into the next Delica along through the 2 15s, for me the Tila, the 2 15s, and into the next Delica, like so, and pull through. So you should essentially have these like little triangles of pearls. As you can see, I've got one there and little triangles of 15s as well in between the Delicas. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around, adding in your 2 pearls between your Delicas and your middle 15 of your picot. So you've got 2 more to do. I'm just adding in my very last pearl, and then I'm going to go through my Delica, through my 2 15s and into the Tila, but I'm going to stop at the Tila this time. So adding that last pearl through the Delica, 2 15s and into the Tila, and pull tight. Give it a little pull, really tighten it up, and that is our component finished. So that's done now. So whether you're going on to make earrings or the bracelet, but I'm going to start by showing you the bracelet and how to join a couple of components. So I have here's a component I made earlier, essentially. Okay, so I'm coming out of this Tila. I'm going to pop that one down for a minute. Okay, so coming out of this Tila, oh, I just need another one. There we go. I'm going to pick up one Tila, and I'm just going to go straight back into the one I'm coming out of from the opposite side to join them. And your Tila might be getting tight now, so just be careful. There we go. So just joining them 2 together, like so. And then I'm going to go into the new Tila. Like so. I'm now going to pick up 3 15s, turn it back over, and go up the next hole of that Tila, like so. And I'm going to pick up 3 15s and come down the first hole of the Tila and pull through. So now you should have this new Tila, which is attached to that one, with 3 15s either side. Go through the 3 15s, the first 3 we added, and into the Tila. Just stop at the Tila. You can move them so they become little picots. Okay, picking up your next component. So you should have, I probably should have said, you need to make, I'm going to make 5 components for my bracelet. So you need to make as many as you feel you'll need, but I'm making 5, and that's going to give me about a 6.5 inch bracelet with the clasp, which is roughly my wrist size. So about a, yeah, that's what that is. If you wanted more of a 7 inch, you'd probably go for maybe 6, or you can just add extra hardware like your jump rings, or maybe more loops or more Tilas on the end. That's up to you. But right now, this is I'm doing 5. So I'm coming out of this Tila, and if we just turn it to the back so we can see a bit easier. The same way I joined this one to this one, we're just going to do the same on the next one. So I'm just going to coming out the bottom of this one, I'm just going to go up that one, like so, and pull through. Then I'm just going to come down it, like so, and pull through. Now I want to be coming out of a bicone. So obviously if I pull this one up, you can see that I have a little bit of a ring of bicones on top of the Tila. So I need to be coming out of a bicone. And the way to do this is we're going to go back into the Tila on our component. Back into the Tila on our component there, like so, which will help tighten it. And we're going to go through, remember our 2 15s, Delica 2 15s. We're going to go through the 2 15s, the Delica and the 2 15s on the back when we did our little arches. And into that single 15 on the bezel there. And then we're going to go up the 2 15s, the Delica and the 2 15s, and that second 15 will then lead us to our 2 15s, bicone 2 15s. So As you can see, my needle's pushing me to go through the 3 15s at once. But then here we are coming out of our bicone. And that's how to get there, just using them beads at the back. So you don't have to kind of go all the way around essentially. It's just an easier way to get there. We're now going to pick up 1 15, 1 bicone, and we're going to go into the middle 15 of this set of 3 15s above this middle Tila here, the one that we've added between our components. So 1 15 and 1 bicone, and then into that middle 15 and pull through. And it should be looking like that. And then we're going to pick up 1 bicone and 1 15, and we're going to go into this bicone on this next component here, like so, and pull through. And then again, we're going to pick up a bicone and a 15, and go into this middle 15 on this side of that 3, and pull through. Oh no, I've done that the wrong way around, sorry. Abort, take that backwards. That should have been 15 bicone, like the other ones, because I don't want 2 bicones sitting together. So, sorry, coming out of this bicone, pick up 1 15, 1 bicone, there we go, that's better. And then go into the middle 15 of that set of 3 and pull through, and then pick up 1 bicone, 1 15, and go into the bicone you started from, or from the other side, and pull through. And there we have our little ring of beads. I'm just going to go through all them again now, just to reinforce that round. So just go through them all again, all the beads. And that's how your work should look now. You'll find that it automatically has a bit of a curve to the piece, the way it sits with the Tilas and the bicones. So if your piece is automatically curving, don't worry about that. It's actually probably going to be cool for when it's going on as a bracelet. So, okay, what we're going to do now is join all our other components. So if you want to do that, I'm going to do that, and then we'll do the, which I've already done on this one. I need to join these together, but we'll do this part where we do the little, there's a 3 bicones and a loop, and this is the same loop that you'll use for the ear wire, so you'll need that one. So join all your other components together exactly the same way we've just done with that Tila and these bicones. You can reinforce them bicones again if you wish to. So yep, do that, reinforce, and I will meet you in a minute to do our clasp loops. Okay, so I've just joined all of my bracelet together, and now we want to add this little loop onto the end and finish off our bracelet. So exactly the same way we've just done to add our bit or our components, we're going to pick up 1 Tila bead, and we're just going to go back through the Tila bead we're coming out of. Probably should have said you should be coming out of a Tila bead facing the join on the components, but we're going to be coming out of that Tila, and we're going to add the Tila as we have done, and we're going to go through it again, and we're just going to reinforce it. Just reinforce it so you've gone through it a couple of times. That's really nice and tight, being that this is your clasp. And then go through the new one again. Add our sets of 3 15s, same way as we did earlier. Pick up 3 and go through that one, and then pick up 3 and go through that one to add our 2 sets of 3 15s. And now we're going to go through the first set of 3 15s that we've just added and back into the Tila. So we're coming out of the side of the Tila that's not attached to our bracelet, like so. Give them a little nudge if they've gone back in. Move that piece of thread. And now we're going to pick up 5 15s, 5, and 6 Delicas, and I'm really chuffed that I had 6 Delicas just left on my mat. That was completely by chance, so that's always happy when that happens. So 5 15s and 6 Delicas on your needle, and drop them down to meet your Tila. And then we're going to take our needle down back towards the 5 15s. So we're going to go through the 5th one, so the one before the Delicas, and coming towards the Tila, so with our needle, so like that, and pull through and pull tight. And we have to give them a little wiggle. And then we're going to pick up 4 15s. Okay, so you can see now that we've got them 4 15s, with the 5th one being the one that joined this little loop of 6 Delicas, and I've now picked up 4 more 15s. Coming off that side of the Tila, I'm just going to go back in on this side, like so, and pull through, and that's our loop in place. I'm going to go back up the 5 15s on this side, so the 4 plus the joining one, like so, and pull through, and keep giving everything a nice little tug just to make sure everything stays nice and tight. And I'm going to go into my first Delica, like so. I'm going to pick up 1 15, and I'm going to take my needle straight into my next Delica along, like so, and pull through. So this little new 15 we've just added in, it's kind of a little bit of a pop between the Delicas, pops out a little bit. And I'm going to do it again, pick up 1 15 and go straight into the next Delica and pull through, and again that one pops, and I'm going to do that another 1 2 3 times, so 3 more times. Just added in my last one, so now my loop has this, it's much more sturdy now than what it was, and you've got these little 15s in between it. I'm now going to come back down that 15 that joins both sides of our 4 15s, and then through the 15s on the, so we came up them ones, so we're going to come down these ones, so through that one. I'll just stand myself and knocked my camera. So through that one, and then through these 4. We'll be there in a second. Okay. I'm now going to go through the Tila and into the middle 15 of that set of 3. Like so. And now, as you can see on this end, I have a circle of bicones. So to do this, I'm coming out of that 15, I'm going to pick up 1 bicone and 1 15, and I'm going to take my needle into this bicone here, like so, and pull through, and then I'm going to pick up 1 15 and 1 bicone, and I'm going to go into the middle 15 of the other set of 3 on the other side of the Tila, and pull through, and that marries up nicely with the one on the other end. And then I'm going to go through the next 15 and back into the Tila before going through them all again, all of the 15s and bicones I've just added, just to reinforce that join essentially. So just reinforce that. And once I've reinforced this, I'm just going to weave off my thread and quickly attach my clasp. So if you want to do the same, and then we'll meet up to add the clasp, and then I will talk you through the earring. if you want to know how the drop was added. So weave in. For anyone who actually would like to see how I weave in my threads, I do half hitch knots. So coming out of this 15 here, I'm going to go under the thread between the 15 and the bicone and pull through, which will create a loop. I'm going to take my needle through the loop, and then very gently, as I don't want the thread to move from where it is between the 15 and the bicone, I'm just going to pull, 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 and that will put a knot in my thread. And then I'll do that a couple more times before weaving off my threads, or just cutting off my threads. So that's how I do it. You could just go through all your beads over and over again until you feel like your thread is well and truly attached. Everyone's got their own way of working. Some people don't like to knot, some people do. So that is completely up to you how you do it. So, but that's how I do it, and that's done now. So I'm just gonna take my my little slicey thing and cut that off, and my bracelet is finished. Yay! So let me just grab another pair of pliers so I can, because I have one here already, but let me just grab another one so I can open my jump rings. And again, if you've watched any of my videos before, you would know that I open my jump rings not that way, but that way. So I hold them either side of the join, and one towards me and one away from me. And I'm going to pop that on my little loop like so, and my clasp. This is such a lovely clasp, it actually kind of really goes with this piece. And then taking hold of my jump ring again, I'm going to go the opposite way, one away from me and one towards me in the other hands, and then I'll just do the same on the opposite side, and that will be done. So if you want to do the same, and there we go. My bracelet is now very much complete, and I can't wait to get the chance to wear it. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through the earrings because I haven't got another component made to show them, but it's quite an easy way of doing this. So let me just find my needle so I can point to where I'm coming out of. Okay, so as you can see with the loop on the top, that's exactly the same loop that we've just done for our bracelet. What's happening with this ear wire? Stop it. It's having a little bit of a moment. Oh, it's gone the wrong way now. Let me just open that and refix it so it's the right way. There we go, that's better. So it's exactly the same, except, have I come out of there? Okay, so it's exactly the same way of doing it, except it looks like I've come out of the 15 here, which I'm going to say I have come out the 15 there. So these two 15s that were after our Delica, I've come out of the second one, so the one that's attached to the Tila, and I've picked up my 5, and then my 5 15s, my 6 Delicas, and my 5 15s, and then I've come back down the 2 and I've gone round before coming back up and adding in my 15s. So the loop is the same, except I've come out of the 2 15s after this Delica here, but you do exactly the same thing and you'll come round the back here, so that will make your loop. And then when it comes to the drop on the bottom, again, I'm coming out of the 2 15s here that are after the Delica, and I pick up 3 15s, a 2mm pearl, a 3mm bicone, my drop, and 3 15s. I then go back up the drop, up the bicone, up the 2mm pearl, and up that first 15 of that set of 3. And then I pick up 2 15s and I go into the 2 15s on this side, or the 1 15 on this side, before going round them 2 little arcs on the back and just going through them all again. So I hope that makes complete sense. But you can attach them any way you want, and you can make any loops that you want to make the earrings. I kind of feel like I need earrings to match this now, but the colours just They're just so beautiful. No matter what kind of colour you use with this component, it seems to work. So anyway, that's us done. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please drop it a little like, and if you like what you see, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. That would be really cool. But yes, thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye now.